I am Reed Rapid Melton, joined by Robert Nubeus Lawkins, and we are going to be casting this game for you tonight. It's going to be game number 2. It's Lyon Gaming with a very dominant game 1 win over No Dice. We'll have to see if RF Legendary on his equally legendary Nidalee has what it takes to bring that top lane and consequently the game back here for No Dice.
All right, so right now we've got Porky kind of just dodging back and forth, laughing as he throws cleavers. Can't think of anyone else that would laugh as they throw cleavers at other people. That's just rude.
Well, sometimes it's about sending a message, and it's apparently a pretty funny one as those laughs come out there. Scripter on his Gragas. It's not his main champion, but it's still one. It's gonna have a pretty interesting time here against Yuri. Has 23 ability power without a Doran's ring, so that's flat blues and Quince, as well as a lot in the offensive tree. So nice to see a very strong start, but at the same time with a different build. He's going for a sustain build, Crystalline Flask and 3 total biscuits of rejuvenation. We'll have to see if that's what it takes against Yuri. Most Gragases I see start off with a Doran's ring for wave clear, but Scripter does a little bit differently.
Well, wave clear, and also don't forget that Gragas passive being called Happy Hour, which who doesn't like Happy Hour, assuming you're of age. It regens health base off of his max health, if I recall correctly. So every single spell cast, he'll be regenning a slight little percentage of that. So that's why Doran's ring is pretty much always a safe choice on him. But at the same time, if you're feeling like you might get bullied around a little bit harder, Crystalline Flask is also a good choice.
Top lane, though, Katie Poo's just zoning into Azul away from this lane. Seiya gets chopped down to 200 hit points. Stun, though, on a Katie Poo. Man, that guy's tanky, regenning a lot. It's going to go trade off against Azul, who hasn't actually hit experience range yet, so he's going to be falling relatively far behind. Seiya, though, he's going to be very far down there. Forced to chug his biscuit very early on, and now just lane dominance for the duo there. For No Dice starting out very strong. Ner'zhul has gotten 2 minions worth of experience, so it's gonna be a while from level 2.
All right, and taking a look at Candy Poo, he opted to not go with any sort of gold item because take a look in that tri-bush. He bought a pink ward. He's also laying down a couple of standard green wards sporadically throughout the map, just to keep that vision going. But I wonder how long that pink ward in the tri-bush is going to last, because a pretty popular gank path for junglers looking to gank that top lane is to run through purple side Wraith area and kind of come up through that tri-bush. So I wouldn't be surprised if I could spot up, but Ner'zhul gets grabbed.
Yeah, Ner'zhul is going to force to throw out what was supposed to be a stun, but unfortunately not enough stacks there of that Incinerate or Pyromania passive to get the stun up quite yet. This duo is just ridiculously strong here for No Dice, and Seiya is taking a lot of hits early on. We'll have to see if that's effective. Yuri, though, throws down a bomb off onto AF Bella. Thiak's looking for the kill there. Gets it onto Bella. First blood in the jungle for Thiak.
Well, that's not exactly what Bella had wanted, but I was just mentioning that's a pretty popular gank path. But Thiak going against an early game Olaf, who he's starting with those double Doran's blades, and more often than not, that's going to allow you to duel quite well, but clearly that wasn't the case this time. So double buff refresh going on Thiak, who you can see he's going to have a lot more control throughout the map as we go along this route. And there we go, spotting out that pink ward. So not very effective ward. And not going to be able to lend a hook, because that pink ward is also, those pink wards that do get laid down, able to use that Q and just simply hop away, no harm, no foul.
Stun, though, on Nico is going to get a shield, but not really going to block all that much damage. Puts him back onto Ner'zhul. Ward into the bush. Death Sentence will land on Ner'zhul. Play backwards. A nice dash back, but condemn into the wall. Exhaust on Seiya, and doesn't attack move, but it's Ner'zhul pick up the kill after Flash. Nico goes down even after burning both summoners.
Wow, so big difference from one of the games we saw tonight, where 21 minutes before we saw any action, 2 kills right around the 5-minute mark. Both those kills, though, going in favor of Lyon Gaming. Lyon Gaming making sure that they secure, once again, another strong early game. But this time the kills are not being stacked onto Porky. They're being spread between Thiak and Ner'zhul. And I'm wondering what kind of impact that's going to make going into mid-game team fights.
Now, coming in here so far, it's been kind of the Lyon show, at least for game number 1. But with Nico and Kaney, actually pretty strong, even though there was that kill going down. It's actually going to be interesting to see if Nico can stay strong up there and be that presence that No Dice really needs. Saya takes a little bit of damage. Nerzul comes back with the pressure. Death Sentence now to come out. There's going to be another flame, but damage onto Nico now. Lot traded back out there. Saya could go down there, but no, stays alive with 150 hit points. As now it's AF, Bella, and Thiak dueling it out once again in the jungle.
Thiak just keeping 1 point indenting blows, prioritizing that vault breaker, lower cooldown, higher damage, so she's able to be a lot more mobile with the reduced cooldown. But at the same time, it kind of reduces her dueling potential by quite a bit. But at this point in time, clearly that's not much of an issue because of that red buff rolling, and then a little bit of an attack speed steroid, where she does proc that third hit of denting blows. Doing quite well for herself already.
Bottom lane, speaking of doing pretty well for himself, RF Legendary is actually pushing Dr. Mundo in. I'm not sure how Porky is losing this, but he's keeping up in CS, and that's really what matters. RF Legendary just content to stay down there, still starting with that Doran's Blade. Neither one of these guys have been actually doing all that much. No potion even forced out there by AF Bella. Porky just kind of biding his time.
Alright, RF Legendary doing a fairly okay job in terms of pushing the wave into the tower. But Porky, pretty good at lasting minions. That rank 1 in Masochism is all the AD he really needs to last hit creep under that tower, because huge attack damage steroid and gets bigger the lower his health gets. But at the same time, it doesn't really matter if Mundo gets the 1 health, especially now he's level 6, because he has the sadism health regen steroid combined with his passive adrenaline rush, going to be regenerating health the whole time. So Mundo really tough to shove out of lane.
Shuffs the tough out of lane indeed, Nubaeus. But probably the more difficult thing, besides pronunciation, is going to be what happens when Porky actually buys items. He currently has 1,700 gold in his inventory, and that is all going to get turned into anti-Nidalee items. Probably going to be a Sunfire Cape to start the lane out, as RF Legendary, 0 AP, nothing but attack damage, 97, full 20 AD higher. Is that what's going to be able to take out Porky? The only thing that works off of percentage max HP in this game currently is RF Legendary's execute with takedowns, so I'm not necessarily sure that's really going to be effective, because first you have to get Dr. Mundo down that low, and we'll have to see if RF Legendary is up for the task.
You know, I have seen some AD Nidalees build Blade of the Ruined King. Blade of the Ruined King with the likes of an Iceborne Gauntlet or a Trinity Force, and it can be a pretty powerful combo, but at the same time, if he does go the route of Bork into Triforce, very squishy Nidalee, and going up against a Mundo that we've seen over and over just tonight alone, gets incredibly tough to simply do anything to in lane. So I'd say another big option would have been for... Ignore that.
There's going to be a lot of damage right onto Nerzul, and he's going to come down, and now it's going to be Saya in a little bit of trouble. Where's the flash? Where's the undertow? Misses. Exhaust is down, but no follow-up damage as Nico's out of mana. Can't quite chase that one out, but an uncharacteristic kill. Nerzul drops down after blowing his flash a little bit interestingly before. It could actually be first turn of the game for No Dice. Bottom lane, it's actually Legendary versus Thiak. Legendary still hasn't gone back to base. Finally, the trip back for Porky grabs the components of a Giant's Belt, and that is first turn of the game for No Dice.
Alright, so we had a Mega Inferno Bomb being dropped in that top lane, trying to clear out the wave and potentially force back No Dice Gaming from pushing the tower, but tower was just low enough and we had enough damage between Olaf, Thresh, and Lucian to take out that tower. So tower number 1 going to go in favor of No Dice Gaming, and they didn't have that luxury in the last game, so I'm wondering if by having a slight little advantage in terms of map control is going to play a very big role in terms of how No Dice is able to play this one game out. Because last game they got behind on towers and kills, and in turn just simply got pushed into their base, and there wasn't much of anything to do, especially since Porky on Renekton was so incredibly huge. I think he was hovering along the lines of, like, was it 7, 1, and 10?
Yeah, it's just devastatingly strong performance. Bella, word over the walls, thinking about Dragon. Not sure we're quite there just yet, but Dr. Mundo back down in that bottom lane. RF Legendary comes back to lane with a Bilgewater Cutlass and Mercury Treads. So, like you were talking about, going for that Blade of the Ruined King.
Right now, not much in terms of analyzing we can do at this point in time, except for it does. My thought is, it seems like no dice are kind of poking out, dropping wards, kind of odd places for normal points of the game, but it seems like they're going for choke points along the path to Baron against Lion Game. Or, excuse me, Baron Dragon. Baron is a worm, Dragon is a dragon. Gotta get that one right.
Yeah, contrary to popular opinion, yes, dragons are in fact dragons, Rubeus. We're gonna watch top lane though, around the Baron area, or at least where he would be if he had spawned just yet. Top lane, a lot of action. AF Bella waiting around the corner, could land a max range axe over the wall under Azul, but will just back off as he is standing on top of a ward, so should be playing that pretty carefully. In the meantime, actually liking this RF Legendary play versus Porky, and really that's the matchup I'm focusing on, because if Dr. Muno gets out of control,
Big fight in the
nobody's
top
gonna
lane,
be able to
though.
take him down. But yeah, the engage down there is Lantern out, will pull Bella back to safety. Perfect gank there by Thiak. Saw AF Bella waiting around on a ward, baited it out, and there's Thiak for the counter gank. So now looking to turn his face towards mid to see if maybe he can catch in onto Spaz Scripter, who by and large has actually been dealing with that the Ziggs pressure fairly well, even though he did start out with a little bit of a different build. Now I have Bella versus Thiak. Bella is not going to win that fight, but turns it around there. Spaz Scripter coming in. Bella needs to get out of there, but locks him down. Mega Inferno Bomb, the combo there, working out for Lyon, picking themselves up another kill in this game.
Well, I'm surprised the Assault and Battery was not negated by the active of Ragnarok. If Olaf faced off against the likes of an Alistar with the Headbutt Pulverize combo, if you pop that Ragnarok while you're midair of a Pulverize, Olaf will pop right back into the ground and be able to start running again. But that wasn't the case against Fi. I wonder if that's some sort of bug, because he was not able to move for a couple seconds.
Condemn into the wall there. Candy Poo's going to take some damage. Stun out from Mr. Tibbers. Shield from the Lantern not going to be enough, as a huge CC combo there between the duo lane for Lyon. That's them their 4th kill of the game.
Now RF Legendary against Porky right now. Legendary is actually maxing his heal, going for the big attack speed steroid and heal on top of that. Diving onto Porky though.
Legendary under the turret. I apologize for my disbelief. Getting the kill onto Dr. Mundo. You can just see the power of that takedown. Bilgewater Cutlass combo, giving RF Legendary a kill onto the almost unkillable Dr. Mundo.
And Legendary is actually going the route of a Blade of the Ruined King, so he's looking to get huge attack speed steroid and at the same time dueling potential, going up against a Dr. Mundo who more often than not, or every single time,
Bella's gonna get caught out there. Thiak going in. Keep in mind this is AD Vi. You're gonna see the Spirit of the Elder Lizard there on Thiak. He's gonna get in on to AF Bella. Can't quite find him just yet.
Thiak can go that route because Lion can reliably say that Porky will get tanky enough that he will pretty much never die. That's just the strength of Mundo, at the same time, the knowledge of the champion from Porky.
Nice explosive cast there. Bella's very low. Last auto attack is actually Ignite from Yuri to take him out. The act will go down. There's going to be Mega Inferno Bomb as well. Candy Poo misses the bomb, or gets out alive. Now it's Spaz Scripter going to have to body slam his way away from there. Still trades 1-for-1, both junglers going down.
The worst part about that for Bella was not just the Ignite and all the damage they took. To add insult to injury, the lesser lizards, the small lizards, were also auto-attacking him. So those little guys deal, I can just get vision. Oh, they're gone. They were actually cleared out. But I believe that they deal like 20 or 30 damage auto-attack. So 3, 4, 5 auto-attacks from those little things. That's actually what did Bella in terms of execution range.
With the Blade of the Ruined King, though, I'm actually kind of questioning that's effectiveness. Like, it makes sense because it does percentage HP damage, but it doesn't really synergize with a lot of Nidalee. Like, you don't really build attack speed on Nidalee. You have a steroid for that, but still should help him as he looks to take down turrets. 140 AD on that Nidalee. We'll see if RF Legendary continues. Azul dodges out away from the spear. Yuri reveals himself, hopping back away. Legendary takes a cleaver, gets back to this blue buff, which should go down to Yuri. All right, there we go. Gets the steal, walks away happy as ever with a new buff. on his body.
But you're questioning the Blade of the Ruined King, and the whole point about an 80 in Italy is more or less to split push. So it gives you extra attack speed when you don't have your buff active. And at the same time, with that item, it also gives you some semblance of dueling potential. So a huge tower pushing at the same time can go toe to toe with Porky on that Mundo, and we've seen that already with RF Legendary having a 1-level lead at this point in time, closing in, trying to push towards a 2-level lead, but Porky is doing all that he can to keep up in farm and experience to make sure that doesn't happen.
With that Baron buff being attempted, you're gonna see that I want to say, or not Baron buff, with the dragon gonna be attempted here. RF Legendary is setting up for that, but dueling out against Porky. Does Porky have what it takes there? Gonna throw down Sadism, but waiting until the very low. But there's actually the burst damage. When you activate Sadism, costs 20% of your health, and immediately what RF Legendary is looking for takes out Porky before the fight even starts. Bella very low. There's an axe to throw backwards. Bella, or Legendary rather, gonna block a lot of the damage. Knows he can get away. There's a death sentence there from Katie Poo. Flashes away from the bomb. Can Yuri find the kill? Minefield to land out there. Auto attack to take him down. Yuri taking out Katie Poo. But overall, that is a 2-for-1 exchange. Once again, Porky going down.
Now Legendary kind of poking around. Nezreal has his stun activated, but what's gonna happen? Flash into the Annie. Is he gonna be able to make it out safely? Yes, he will.
What on earth? RF Legendary goes in there on a killing spree. Thyax attacking that dragon will take it down, but at what cost? RF Legendary waiting around the wall.
Uh-oh.
Looking to take out Thyax. Hops around the balls in there. And now throws down an auto attack and an ignite. Does not pounce over the wall, though. Would have expected a chase, but makes it out alive.
With the Vi Q, and also at the same time there was still like a second left on the Cougar cooldown, so Vi would have easily been able to get away, whereas RF Legendary, if he did try to chase without his flash, would have given Vi like a good second and a half head start. Seiya though, almost
yeah,
he's
in some trouble. Fast Scripter takes the easy way out and will be able to just ult to pick up the kill. There's going to be a nice chunk of damage just there and a kill in his column as Seiya just gets completely owned up, way overextended. Didn't see the roam, and Fast Scripter grabbing his second kill of the game.
Yeah, Seiya just can't handle his alcohol too much at once. Gonna need to take a nap, and that's what he did, taking a dirt nap in fact. And wow, I'm just that one explosive cast. Scripter just did a simple toss and walk away. Didn't even bother trying to do a follow-up.
Now in the mid lane, it's going to be about wave clear. Fast Scripter's got tons of that. And yeah, in case you guys are wondering, for the lineup of No Dice, they're actually fairly consistent, but went through some changes right before playoffs, switching out Fear Me for Faz Scripter. Apparently Fear Me had some commitment issues, didn't quite have enough time to commit to the team, and Faz Scripter coming in. Rough game number 1 on Cassidy, never really got going, but game 2 really coming into his own, so we'll have to see if he has what it takes to stay with the best here in Lyon and take this down to a game number 3. We've seen one game number 3 already here tonight to see if No Dice can bring it back. Already you can see game number 2 a lot different than game number 1. It's actually fairly even in both columns, even though there is still a little bit of a gold advantage for Lyon.
One thing I like, oh, can't even talk about it. You got a nice big fight into the tower.
Yeah, deep underneath the turn. Mega Inferno Bomb. The axe just gonna blow apart. That sentence can't quite come out there from Katie Poo. Ner'zhul gets in there, but it's gonna be Seiya ulting in from the back. Blows Faz Scripter apart. Gonna be Blade of the Ruined King not gonna catch in on to Nico. There's the RF Legendary coming in from behind. It's a 2-for-1 so far in the Lantern. Gets RF Legendary back to that turret. But it is now going to be 3v1, 3v2 as Katie Poo is still there, but middle turret still should go down.
Most of the damage that Scripture took was from the explosive minefield from Yuri's Ziggs. I'm surprised because Flash and Body Slam into that ability and still kept walking through it.
Second tier turret will go down there as Porky dropping very, very low, but Sadism to get himself out of there alive and heal himself up at the same time. Effective. There's now a lot of armor being stacked up, and sooner or later, RF Legendary is gonna hit a wall, and I don't think he's gonna hit it as hard as the Yak would.
Alright, so Legendary is going the route of a Trinity Force. He needs to stop trying to group with his team. Like, yes, they're trying to stop the bleeding with these tower pushes. 4 towers already in favor of Lyon Gaming, but the role of an AD Nidalee is not to team fight. Her team fighting is pretty poor, very much lackluster. She needs to just push towers and draw Lyon Gaming down to her.
RF Legendary will back himself off out alive. The big difference between these two teams is wave cleared. While Scripter may have plenty of that, there is some from that undertow on Olaf. Legendary ain't got it. It's going to take the culling from Nico and Kanifu. Not a wave clear support by any means. The axe steals away the blue buff, and while Legendary may try to take him out, will not be able to go on the chase too far. Heads on back down to that bottom lane to be the split pushing menace we know he knows and loves. With Dragon respawning in a couple minutes, expect to see some action around there, but Dr. Muno's headed top lane. Porky's not really all about fighting Legendary right now.
Yeah, and so I'm actually surprised. No dice, they have 2 people split pushing. Nico's actually opting to just shove the wave and go back. But RF Legendary, at the moment, he made a pretty decent impact in the early game, to say the least. Traded very, very well against Porky. Keeping Porky under the tower, not letting him really go much of anywhere except to try to farm. And so, 4 kills, half the kills of his entire team. Blade the Ruin King and Mercury trades while going for. Now, this is a call that's it kind of bothers me. I see it happen a lot in solo queue. Players like to pick up a very early home guards, but when RF Legendary picks up, because his role is being split pusher, his goal is to split push, and with those home guards, return back to base when a member or 2 of Lyon go and try to counter push the wave, group up with his team, and then take a 5-on-3, 5-on-4 fight. But
look at those auto attacks just continuing to come out from RF Legendary. Chunks the Yak down about half HP, but he's going to heal up with some potions. Now Legendary heading towards the mid lane, not actually split pushing all that much, and that's just because Vayne exists. Seiya in all forms at all points in this game is going to be way stronger than RF Legendary until Legendary picks up something like maybe a Randuin's a little bit later on. But for right now,
even
it's
still,
a tall
though,
order.
Even still, I think that even if RF Legendary picks up a Randuin's, there's a substantial amount of health and armor, but Vayne's items and kit just kind of almost negate that, except for the attack speed and movement speed slow. But with a nice active Blade the Ruin King, can kind of compensate for that as well.
Top lane is going to be ashes and dust as Tiax takes down Nico. Bella going to take the lantern back away from there, but perfect job at Seiya just sniping him away. That Inferno Bomb doesn't actually do all that much, but Ward of the Wall scouts out Kanifu, trying to come down and defend this bottom turret. Seiya's just going to take it down. Nice rotation there from No Dice. We'll try to stop him, but just a little bit too little too late. Top lane, though, there's the split push from RF Legendary and Porky. Is this going to be enough to counter with a second tier turret kill?
All right, Dragon is active, though, and it does appear that Lyon is all over this, but Porky, is he going to go down again?
Yeah, pounce in, there's Ignite. Last auto attack and RF Legendary takes
with
the
a
Ignite.
flash.
Oh, but one more bouncing bomb from Yuri is going to be enough to pick up the kill. Legendary, where's he going to go? I'm not sure he's got that. Turret shot, will it be enough? Bouncing bomb dodges away from Legendary's going back through the turret, gets knocked against the wall, and there's the bouncing bomb for the shutdown.
I thought Legendary was going to get away when he poked his head in the bush, giving him an extra 15% movement speed. I believe that's the total. And then by using that and pounce, maybe being able to outplay Uri Ziggs, but clearly with the satchel charge just wasn't enough. And then all along, even though Porky did go down, Lyon Gaming pick up one more Bella and a tower, as well as a dragon. So this gold lead is slowly but surely rising and rising in favor of Lyon. 41.9 in comparison to 34.9. 5 towers to 3, 11 kills to 9. Lyon Gaming once again in game number 2 showing how dominant they really can be.
And great to say a couple of things that we need to talk about right now while we do have this pause to discuss them. Seiya is a monster. Even though he's only 2, 1, and 3, he's got the attack speed to make it happen. Some chat in chat about Nico apparently home guards taking him back out of base, looking to stop the push from Seiya in bottom lane.
All right, but now we have pings coming onto Vayne from No Dice Gaming. The only thing is, it seems like Seiya is heading them into a bit of a trap.
There's the culling, but Legendary gets bursted. Lantern over the wall keeps him alive. Right into a cleaver there. Forky is going to get flayed backwards. Legendary, what can you do? Not going to be effective in this fight. Yuri's way out of position, so he is going to take a while to enter. Walks right into Caney Fu. Probably going to be a pretty nice duel there as bounces him back up in the air. Cleaver to come down for the assist. Bouncing bomb will miss. Caney Fu gets taken out by Forky.
His main goal is to get that pink ward, but as we've seen so many times, the pink ward lives with 1 health, while the aggressive champion, the aggressor, does not manage to get away with his life. So that's going to be yet another kill donated to Lyon Gaming, pushing on onto 2 of the inhibitor turrets, mid lane and bot lane respectively. Scripter was trying to do something by pushing up top lane, but as we can see, being forced to come back and join his team. But I don't know what more No Dice can do besides praying, hoping, and wishing for a pretty substantial tower dive underneath one of these inhibitor turrets.
You know, there is a Trinity Force complete for RF Legendary. That guy does a ton of damage, has all the items he needs, but there's no way that anyone can fight Seiya. Aside from some burst by Scripter catching him out, that's what it's going to take. A death sentence from Caney, some way of CCing Seiya out there. He's going to pick up a Quicksilver Sash coming up here in a little bit, or possibly even a Banshee's Veil. And there's no way that even Scripter is going to be able to kill him. Spear over the wall, it's not AP. Will not be able to pick up the kill. Now Seiya's looking for the outplay. Oh, he steps on that trap. The bushwhack is going to be enough so that he dies to a couple more auto attacks, but no follow-up flash over the wall forced out by Yuri.
Alright, so Seiya sitting on 2,800 gold. I'm wondering what his next buy would be. I think he's close to the gold for a Last Whisper. Porky getting caught out, but he actually might survive.
Running in there, the culling takes down Porky again. That is the most killable Dr. Mundo I have ever seen, and gonna have to watch out for that. RF Legendary is gonna have to watch out for that bottom lane, as you can see. Yeah, not really long for this world. He's gonna go down. There's gonna be Thiak going in. Nico very low, but Thiak's gonna have to piece the scene. Goes in, gets out. Nothing actually accomplished all that way. Thiak taking it down to just a couple hundred hit points.
Alright, so now we finally have Seiya going back to buy. What is this 3-1 for 235 farm before the 30-minute mark? Vayne going to grab. It's going to be a Last Whisper. So there's 1,000 gold left over. Grabbing himself a Negatron Cloak. It's either going to be a Quicksilver Sash or a Banshee's Veil in my mind. This doesn't have the raw AD to really make a Spirit Visage viable, because Spirit Visage does increase lifesteal, health regen by 20%. Lifesteal being the key point for an AD carry. But my thought is, if he goes to the Banshee's Veil, he has a little bit of extra health to survive some of the burst between Gragas and Nico. But at the same time, you grab a Quicksilver Sash to eliminate the threat of a Caney Fu hook.
But now it's on to the Baron, and if there's one thing that can turn games around, it is Baron buffs, and especially against the Gragas. This is going to be a rough thing to try to take down. Burst over the wall, Baron's going to go, stolen away, Scripter gets the Baron, gets out, and attempts to body slam through the wall. I'm not sure what exactly happened.
Almost taking out Nezul too. I am thoroughly impressed with Scripter. Wow, Q ults. That right there, the power of Gragas.
Yeah, just way too much damage. Doesn't even have a Void Staff, but with only 400 ability power. I guess that's not something I should say, not only, but a lot of AVP giving. Let's go ahead and calculate some damage here. That's going to be 850 from explosive cast. On top of a, let's see, 2, 3, 400. That's almost 1,000 damage.
Legendary getting chased through Lyon's base. Porky doing a can of trailing cleavers, but Legendary just too fast. Nezro is encroaching very soon.
Oh, but a cleaver catches him on the pounce, and Porky grabs the kill. Seiya gonna go off there as the fight continues, as it breaks out mid lane. Caney Fu's gonna get the play backwards. This will slow out Seiya. There's an Australia's away from that Talisman of Ascension, and will AF Bella be able to make it back to base? Axe goes out backwards, but what is left to defend? Only Scripter and AF Bella alive, and it's going to take a miracle to keep this mid turret alive.
So Aegis of Legion coming out for Caney Fu, but the magic damage isn't the issue, as Explosive Cast just gets entirely whiffed by Scripter.
Yeah, if Scripter had even just hit the minion wave, that would have saved the turret, but this is going to be an inhib after a nice team fight there. Thiak looking to get it onto Bella, won't dive for it. And that's the first inhibitor of the game, going to Lyon.
Yeah, so 17 to 10, 4 kills, 27 kill game thus far, almost at a kill per minute. but RF Legendary managing to do some work, bringing the tower difference to a fairly substantial smaller gap.
Oh, but Bella top lane takes the lantern out. The red buff, no, it's not enough. Bella, no, he walks right into the Mega Inferno Bomb. Yuri, unstoppable, grabs his 5th kill of the game. The Culling trying to take down Rajul, blocks it with Mr. Tibbers, and not enough. Spear to come out, where's it gonna go? Not enough, and now Nico gonna get condemned into the wall. Seiya, unstoppable. Boss Scripter, not enough damage to take him out.
I remember a time when Vayne first came out where people would be afraid to condemn over right next to that Baron wall because it actually used to push players over the wall and save them. But now clearly it's reliable enough that that's not the case, so another kill going to Seiya.
Oh my god, the damage from Boss Scripter, but Yuri and Seiya able to trade it back. Now it's poor Caney Poo. Flashes over the wall. Will it be enough to keep him alive? The answer is yes, he stays in there, but Legendary looking to get around the corner, gets into the brush, there's the move speed, pulled back in, Legendary will be able to pick up the kill, but no, one auto attack's all it takes, but Seiya stays alive.
How much health did he get away with? I'm pretty sure it was under 90.
Yeah, it was in fact 78 HP on Seiya, staying alive there, and will be able to lifesteal back up. Oh my, Seiya, the legend, continues up there. 6-1 and 7. 7-0-7. The Boeing and the score of Lyon Yuri. Mid laner there as Mundo comes back in his own rough early game. But still, that tanky menace able to get in there and take out the dragon for Lyon Gaming.
So RF Legendary resorting to saving his base instead of his split push role he's been taking all game. Ziggs now though, picking up a Lich Bane. That's a pretty painful Ziggs.
It's going to be a pretty painful AD carry position. Seiya didn't even have full health and just straight up owned Nico up there in the top lane.
That condemn was beautiful. If he didn't manage to land it right up against that wall, that was almost a max range in terms of condemn hitting a wall. And if that didn't happen, it would have been a very dead Vayne. But because that didn't happen, in turn, it was very dead Lucian. Both guys opted to not use any sort of big cooldowns, except for Nico's barrier. So that's not going to be down for the next fight, but at the same time, with the way that this game's been going, barrier's not even going to matter.
Yeah, barrier, it's basically not a spell right now. If you want to use it, that's cool, but it's not really going to stop you dying. Nice to see the double attack speed build, the static shift to come out from Seiya, looking for a ton of mobility, 416 move speed currently for Seiya, and that's just going to get even higher once he goes into final hour. So I gotta say, oh, go ahead.
It's just crazy that an AD carry does not need any semblance of a BF item in order to be super scary going into the late game. We have a Quicksilver Sash, Last Whisper, Static Shift, Femdancer, and a Blade of the Ruined King. Attack on a little bit more attack speed with Berserker's Greaves, and that, my friends, is a formula for a terrifying Vayne.
Now it's going to be Porky, pretty tanky, but still going to take some damage. If Bella goes up against Thiak, he probably will lose that matchup, as Thiak has, you know, the odd Warmog's armor on top of his Locket of the Iron Solari, so going to be very tanky. He now pushes in onto that middle lane. Super Minion's going to help him out. Nibber, though, will come up pretty soon in the next 5 seconds or so, and bottom lane, the push for Thiak. Nobody's gonna stop him. Kaney goes for the hook. Minions run out, but Assault and Battery locking him down. AF Bella, though, is gonna turn on the ultimate Ragnarok, the end of days. But it's the end of days for Olaf, as Nico can't find the kill cleanse from Seiya. Keeps him alive. The culling won't even be enough. And now Thiak starting to take up that turret. He's gonna go down there. At least Nico able to find himself a 1 kill.
Alright, so RIP Thiak, but 8-1 and 7 Vayne. Picking up yet another kill onto Bella. I wish that No Dice would pick up the likes of a Frozen Heart. They do have 2 Randuins ready and able, but at the same time, Bella just opted to not use it under the tower, and that may have made the difference between living and dying, maybe even picking up the kill onto Seiya. But as we saw, that Vayne is just way too scary.
Vayne's scary. Dr. Mundo is going to get unkillable here with his Randuin's Omen. So you're going to look to Foz Scripter to try to turn this around. Honestly, if Scripter hits Yuri or Seiya, they just die instantly. One exception might be Seiya, as he does have that Quicksilver Sash, but with the makings of a Zanya's coming up next, no, not in the inventory. Yuri is all offense, so he is going to die instantly. So it's up to Scripter to turn this fight around if he can get in there. Keep in mind, Legendary started out the game 5-1, has a lot of offensive items, but does he have what it takes to keep the split push alive, or even is split pushing still an option?
I do not think it is. With the threat the Lion has, and they've been pretty much stuck to grouping as 5, they are not concerned in the slightest with RF Legendary split push, and it's shown, because RF Legendary has not had the stolen again. Are you serious?
I'm sorry, excuse me, is that, how do you Baron against Fod Scripter? This guy's just too good. Second Baron of the game now stolen away. Don't want to throw this advantage. This is the opportunity for No Dice to come back. You know, they're down about 9,000 gold. They actually have a lot of gold in their inventories, 1,000 for Fod Scripter, but if there's any time to turn this game around, this is it.
I don't think they're gonna manage to turn around it. This is just a huge pause button that No Dice Gaming has been dying for, literally dying for, over and over again. Mostly the Seiya as well. But this is going to be exactly what the doctor ordered, and I think that having this buff will allow 4 members of No Dice to simply hold the lanes and allow RF Legendary to do his thing. Now the only question is, will Legendary decide to go to a side lane and try to push, or will he stick with his team and hope for some semblance of a catch from Candy Poo?
Alright, so right now Scripter is the god. He is single-handedly carrying this up. He's already got the cooldown on Explosive Cask back. It's a 54-second cooldown with max CDR. He's at 32.5 right now, so almost there. Ward's gonna get cleared out there. Now, I want to say that if Fod Scripter could just either pick off Ner'zhul, maybe Yuri, and that'll turn it around, but to be honest, Seiya is just so strong right now. Legendary's going. He wants to avoid that. Can he get the 1v1? He's going to get condemned into the brush. Seiya's just going to take one auto attack. There's the flash in. Stealths it back up with the shutdown from Candy Poo. RF Legendary gets the 1v1 on arguably the strongest member of Lyon Gaming. And if that's where we're at right now, is this comeback possible?
I believe so. Nico using the culling to pick up blue buff. And
didn't clear it though.
He didn't clear it, but it's not terrible. Actually, it might have been cleared. I'm not terribly sure because it was invisible on my screen, so it might just be a spectator bug. But
nope, still up. There's one tiny lizard.
All right, so that one little guy sticking around, delaying that buff for an extra minute or so. But anyway, I actually think that Legendary might be sticking around with his team because remember, Nidalee does have that attack speed buff, and Lucian, the culling scales so well with attack speed. So they might be keeping that Nidalee around simply to toss the buff on just before the culling goes off, enabling the culling to do an extra, let's say, 600 to 800 damage throughout the course of its channel.
Dragon gonna go down there, taken out. Nice job there. Yuri secures the kill. Apparently, dragons work a lot better for Lyon than
it's
than
not Baron.
do. Yeah. All right, push now for No Dice. I'm not sure if they're just gonna roll what they want, but they will roll down the middle lane. Legendary should be able to 2 or 3 shot this turret. There it is, taken down now. Only a 1 turret difference separates these two teams. The difference that is gonna make the most effect is that 10,000 gold difference between both teams. But still, you know, you gotta give some credit. RF Legendary, I don't know how he did it, but he did manage to take out Seiya. Now hopping away, very mobile. Able to split push against just about anyone. I mean, hey, if you can take Seiya out, then what is impossible? And the answer is probably not a whole lot.
I'm intrigued by the Quicksilver Sash pickup by RF Legendary. I would have expected a Spirit Visage, not only because is it a staple top lane bruiser pickup, but at the same time, it gives him more cooldown reduction, which is huge for all of his abilities. At the same time, it will increase the self-healing. So it'll increase the self-healing between Blade of the Ruined King and the heal from Nidalee. On top of that, also a little bit more health and magic gifts for just a slight bit more survivability and sustainability as going for these duels and pushes. But Baron buff is off.
Yeah, no more Baron buff, and that's actually really, really big, because that means that Seiya, very strong, now may be able to win that 1v1 versus either RF Legendary or Fod Scripter. Gragas has a huge zone, but Porky is so good at just getting out there in front, making himself that tanky menace. He's regenerating 22 hit points every 0.5 seconds, so I feel like that's somewhat effective at making him invincible.
Yeah, and if you want to break that down, 224 health per 5. He can simply walk around teamfight without his ult up, and just without an ignite on him, regen, let's say, the tune of 1200, 1400 health, with people just beating on him.
Middle inhibitor is gonna regen if Lyon don't keep auto attacking it. There's the more damage to come back out from Seiya. Now with Yak taking a little bit of damage. There's actually a solid battery right on Nico. He's gonna go ahead and dash right back on out of the fight. But a huge Mega Inferno Bomb. Seiya taken down low before the fight even starts. Lyon are just gonna try to take it down the inhibitor. They will then disengage. But actually, is this a fight that No Dice want to pick? The answer is no. Middle inhibitor will go down, and Lyon Gaming take it out and back off successfully.
Almost every ult was used by Lyon Gaming, whereas the only big ability that was used by No Dice was the explosive cask, and that is a fairly short cooldown. You know, Scripter doesn't quite have 40% cooldown reduction, so it's not the typical 40-45 second cooldown. We are sitting at 54 seconds on the explosive cask, but nonetheless, it's a very short cooldown, almost up as it is. This might be a window of opportunity that No Dice is looking for.
And now with Nico pushing down, that's Nico got blown up at the start of that fight. If he had stayed alive, that might have been what No Dice needed to be able to stop that from going down. Now keep in mind, a couple of things are about to happen with that inhibitor down. Inhibitors in Season 4 don't affect other lanes, so those lanes are still going to push out. Also, with the changes in patch 3.15, super minions actually have a big effect on the minions around them. They give them 70 extra armor and magic resistance, as well as a 70% attack bonus. So that is going to be really, really cool to watch in action, as that mid lane should now push very hard. The only problem is Fast Scripter can one-shot the minion wave, so shouldn't actually see too much of a difference, as now Nico's full build, a lot of full builds starting to come out as we enter this 41-minute mark of the game.
All right, Baron is up in 20 seconds. You know what that means? Might we see another Baron steal?
If Fast Scripter gets this 3 times in a row, I'm just like Baron's off limits.
They deserve the win.
Yeah, exactly. One Baron after another. Lyon are just handing this. The Axe actually going to jump in onto RF Legendary. Legendary's going for the chase, trying to catch him out there. Throws out a spear, but it's not AP, and now Legendary will back off again. There's 0% cooldown, or actually no, it's 5% just for masteries on RF Legendary, but no cooldown reduction on an Italy. That's actually kind of surprising. RF Legendary will throw some damage right back onto Porky. Porky taken down very low. RF Legendary is built for killing Mundos. Will take him pretty low, but it's going to be Seiya in the meantime, backdooring the base, flashes through, last auto attack, finds the kill onto Bella, and now how do you kill what cannot die? Seiya going to go ahead, pop the cleanse, flash in, and the culling. Nico takes him down, but I think that's a pretty worthwhile trade, taking out Seiya for Bella, and now it's all up to that top lane turret. Can No Dice Gaming hang on for long enough?
I really like the reaction from No Dice there. Once they spotted Van in the bottom lane, they realized that there was no Baron killing potential from Lyon Gaming. So with that, it seemed like Nico instantly hit that B button. Even though Bella didn't last long, it was just enough for him to pick up that kill. And so Vayne being dead, Lyon might try to go for it, but at the same time, how are they going to shred it down? Mundo does have the percent health cleavers. Vi does have the percent health with her W passive, but I don't think it's enough to kill it without No Dice Gaming doing something about it to react.
Fast Scripter just body slamming his way around. Full builds on basically everyone. You are looking for that Frozen Heart to come out from AF Bell, and I love that item on Olaf. But Olaf benefits so much from CDR, and he's gonna have max CDR if he does finish that up. So it just means there's a lot of true damage, a lot of axes, and a lot of effectiveness with the Frozen Heart passive to come out, especially considering that Seiya starting to get to that God mode level, but he's capped off. This is max build from Seiya, so while Seiya's going to be very strong, everybody else is going to keep getting stronger while he stays the same. So getting on towards that late game, looking good for No Dice. Those Baron kills were so essential, not at getting kills or achieving objectives, but at just keeping No Dice in the game.
I agree 100%. But the only thing is, Seiya, if he does manage to rack up enough gold, he can go the route of a Zephyr. what is his attack speed at this point in time? 2.02. So a Zephyr, still room for attack speed, always room for attack damage. Tenacity is also a pretty big thing for anyone in a game, actually, reducing the crowd control, slows, what have you. But a very key point about the Frozen Heart that will be an eventual pickup for Bella is that you cannot cleanse, you cannot do anything to remove that attack speed slow. It is there unless you kill off Bella or get out of range.
And now with Lyon actually walking through the base, they're just demolishing this. It's going to force the engagement. Dak getting the dunks down onto Nico. He will dash away from that Mega Inferno Bomb. The Culling trying to take out Ner'zhul. There's going to be the Zodia's Hourglass from Foz Scripter, but Porky's just going absolutely wherever he pleases. Yuri or Saya's dead, Ner'zhul very low as well, but Porky just does not die. Bella trying to sustain through this. Bella's in the middle of the entire team and still alive. Yuri with way too much damage in the back. No one's killing Yuri. He's legendary after taking down Caney Poo, a Frozen Heart for Olaf.
Where are the home
guards? Not
guards?
going to be enough. Yeah, no home guards to get him back in the fight. This inhibitor will go down. Look at RF Legendary's auto attacks. They just don't do anything. Inhibitor will fall. There's the body slam to pick up the kill onto Thiak, but it's an inhibitor down, and that's completely worth it for Lyon.
2 for 2 and 2 inhibitors, so Lyon gave away a couple free kills, but I'll take 2 inhibitors for 2 deaths any day of the week, because now what that means is this bottom lane on Lyon Gaming side, it's been pushed up pretty much this whole game thanks to RF Legendary, but now Super Minions will start to spawn and in turn push this lane further and further into No Dice Gaming's base. When that does happen, it should leave a window of opportunity for Lyon to potentially secure their first Baron after donating to ever so nicely to No Dice Gaming.
With the pink ward cleared out by Bella, this is actually going to be a very sneaky Baron attempt. This time around, it's going to be up to Lyon to steal this away after No Dice actually looking really good with the Blade of the Ruined King, dealing a lot of damage onto Baron and a ton coming out from Foz Scripter. Baron's low. There's Duel trying to zone out for this. Porky's in the area, and Baron is very low. All 3 champions here. There's the burst damage.
The Culling gets it.
Culling. Nico keeps it. Going to No Dice, but there the Cull's starting to come out. Yuri goes legendary again. Ner'zhul with a kill on a Foz Scripter, and with 2 deaths, this is almost certainly the game.
It
But
could
actually,
be.
you know, Thiak's not actually with them, so this could stall out. The only problem is both carries are so strong. Nico cannot 1v1 anyone that's up right now. RF Legendary, sure he's got some damage, but he's had to build so many tanky items that he's nowhere near Saya as far as damage is concerned. Nexus turret just gonna get
Nico just
focused.
picked up Infinity Edge though. This could be a huge game changer right now.
And Nico's does have a lot of damage, but at the same time, is that enough to take out Porky? Bombs come back where it's Legendary's dropping down some damage. Gonna get tanked up there and just blown apart. Porky tanks up the turret. That's that it's in there on Nico. So much damage for the crits to come out, but it's gonna be Nico forced back to his turret by
RIP Nexus.
There you go, 2-0. Lyon takes it, moves on to the semifinals to face off against LOL Pro.